The tenets of democracy are skills for living in our society that include tolerance, critical thinking and decision-making, thinking together and making meaning, power sharing and empowerment, and individual responsibility and civil involvement with others. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model. The students review what they have learned in this Introduction to Black Studies course. The teacher prompts the students to identify, describe, and compare important ideas found in their readings and discussions. By doing so, the students are engaged in a critical thinking process.
I thought it was interesting how the black people would try to act black or whatever by lowering their grades or try to act bad in class.
You found it interesting that black people would lower their grades or act bad as an effort to not act white. Now we're going to come back to whether or not we think that's true and whether you agree with the article, but first I want to find out just what you think.
Sometimes even black people, they assume that white people are better and get better grades and stuff like that, when really that's not true at all.
Okay. So now we're having someone she's saying that she found something in there that, again, going back to that definition of power, that many people didn't realize that there are many black people who are assuming that because somebody's white that they're smarter or better. And then her experience is that's not true.
The students examined the 1960s and 1970s in the context of the Black Power movement. They also discuss current race relations in America. The teacher engages the students in making meaning by involving them in a dialogue about race relations. The students openly express their beliefs and the reasoning behind their beliefs. In this case, they talk about the definition of power in the context of black and white people. The students use their critical thinking skills when they infer meaning through a dialogue with their peers and associate various concepts they have learned in the course of the semester.
We get here and we start thinking differently and acting differently, then we go back to that definition of power, the ability to define reality and have other people respond to your definition as if it were your own. How does that fit in with what happened to us from being black and smart to being smart being associated with being white in that definition of power? The question makes sense?
Yeah, I said due to the Holocaust and due to slavery, we were stripped of our knowledge from the past.
Okay, so then you're saying that the Holocaust of enslavement and having your knowledge of the past taken away, then someone can reprogram you.
The students continue their discussion on black studies and on the role they should play in race relations in society. The students demonstrate critical thinking skills when they answer questions about racial stereotypes. In their responses, the students show the relevance and usefulness of the subject matter as they apply their knowledge to their everyday lives. The students also demonstrate the process of making meaning by explicitly expressing both their beliefs and the reasoning for their beliefs.
And what can you do to get rid of those stereotypes?
Well, we know a lot of the stereotypes aren't true because there's too many blondes, in power and stuff.
So you're saying then that it's not true that blondes are not smart, that there are blondes in powerful positions and who do things that say, I'm intellectually strong, so then it takes away the stereotype. Okay. So then does that mean that when black people are successful in school, that it takes away the stereotype?
Yeah, it might. It might, like a white person who's thinking that, all blacks are dumb or something, it might help take that stereotype away if they meet someone who is smart. Meet a black who is smart.
Okay.
What I think about the whole issue about whether it's true about black students or whatever and white students thinking or acting like white or black or whatever. I mean, if you say something for so long, then people will start believing it. But then until people step up and prove that what that person said was wrong, then that's only when they're going to start believing that that's not true. Like you said, they say blonde heads are dumb or something like that. And I mean, and like blonde-haired girls should step up and say, hey, we're not dumb, and show people that they, that stereotype is wrong. As soon as we can blot out all the stereotypes that people put into the world today, then that's the only time that won't nobody believe it anymore.
Okay.